We are at Terrificon 2022. Marc and Calvin, hey, this is going to be a lot of fun. Now, the nice thing about Terrificon is if you are really into comics, this is the convention you want to go to.
Absolutely. They're in the newer Expo space over here at Mohegan Sun. It's very spacious. It's easy to walk around. They got a ton of comic artists, comic writers, comic people, all sorts of cool stuff. Terrificon is one of the best cons, if not the best overall con in New England when it comes to this stuff. And I'm sure we're going to find a bunch of cool things.
Yes, we've already found a few goodies. Like I got the opportunity to speak with Carl Potts, who was the creator of Alien Legion, one of my favorite comic book series. That was pretty awesome. That was awesome. Didn't get an interview, we just got a chance to chat, but it was still pretty cool. You've picked up a couple of things so far.
Yep, I picked up a couple of Elseworlds books that I've been looking for. A lot of fun, and let's go see what else we can get into. Terrificon 2022. We're just walking into, we haven't even gotten to the main exhibit yet. We just happen to be walking by Gary Summers, pop culture extraordinaire. Guy that's behind Northeast Comic Con, does a ton of stuff. Gary, how's it going?
Aloha, kids. Aloha.
So what have you been up to? What's going on?
Well, putting on shows. Northeast Comic Con coming up Thanksgiving weekend in Boxborough, Mass. We haven't announced the guests yet, but there's almost, I guess we're sold out of vendor space pretty much always, but it's guaranteed not boring, and there's free parking. That's November 25 to 27. Got a little small collectibles show October 1 and 2 in Boxborough, and then we're putting on the High Lifestyle show, which is a Comic-Con for cannabis lovers.
That's a little interesting. Talk a little bit more about that.
Well, the show is kind of like exhibitors or people that are interested in the cannabis culture in the marketplace. It's 21 plus to get in. It's private property at the hotel, so there'll be open consumption in the parking lots. And we have live music with the Wailers, Roots of Creation, Michaela Davis, John Butcher Axis, lots of great bands. And there'll be some programming like comedy and games and panels, just like a Comic-Con. Celebrity guests. You never know who's going to show up at one of my shows.
That's true, and with Northeast, you always have a really electric bunch of guests coming in. You have a bunch of comic artists, and you usually have some fandom stuff, some cosplayers, and Matches Malone comes over and is always doing stuff, so that's really cool. But you also have something else coming out, a sci-fi rock opera.
I do. One moment. Prepped. Oh, I'm so prepped. Yes, Beasties is sci-fi rock opera. I've been working on this for 50 years. In the last 6 years, I've actually started working on this, and it's hitting Earth soon. And, of course, Beasties are the human emotions. We all have them, but can you see your Beasties, or can you see other people's Beasties? Well, it's a rock opera. There's 15 songs, animation. I'm very lucky to have Dave Bickler, the voice of Eye of the Tiger, as one of our singers. Yep. Barrence Whitfield of the Savages is one of the singers. Chris Farlow, who had the hit single Out of Time in 1966 and sings with Jimmy Page and Van Morrison and the Stones. He's one of our singers. He plays the villain, Dick Trader. And it's a really fun show, fun music, many different styles of music, and I'm really psyched to finally get it out. Those are the characters. Ooh, you'll see it too. There's a video online. Go to beastiesrockopera.com.
Okay, and I'll have to get in touch with you back in November, and when upcoming in November, and we'll talk a little bit more about that and see how that's coming along. Thank you for taking a minute to spend time with us. Enjoy the rest of Terrificon, and I'll see you soon.
I hope you're going to be at the Northeast Comic Con. You always are. You've been there for 35 years, right?
I've been there a while. Yes, I am showing my age, and I will be at this one.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Aloha.
I am with Leo. Hi, Leo.
Hey, Mark, how's it going?
It's going very well, thank you. And you are with a podcast called The Dorkening?
Well, The Dorkening is a podcast network. It started off as a show in 2013 and just sort of grew from there. I had a bad experience with another network and didn't like how I was treated, so I decided, hey, other podcasters could be going through this, so I decided to form a network, and to help other podcasters.
Okay. Now, for newbies like myself who know nothing about podcasting, what's podcasting, and what's the difference between that and like a TV show, for example?
Well, so podcasting originally started out through the RSS, which is really simple syndication. And most of it, well, all of it was audio. Some podcasts started doing video as well. And it's just, a show type format that's just on the internet that's, shared everywhere, like, you load it in one place and then it gets populated in like iTunes, Spotify, and everywhere. So our show, we do audio and video. We actually start as video and then rip the audio from that for the audio podcast.
Okay, and how many other podcasters are in your group?
We got about 40 shows on the network. We're just adding another 7, and we got a ton of responses this weekend. So, hopefully that'll be growing.
Good. Now, is this something that you make a profit from, or you just do it for fun? How does that work?
Well, I can't say the exact numbers because my wife could listen. No profit right now. A lot of it is a labor of love, but also I'm helping a lot of podcasters out. Like every podcast that's on our network, they get like unlimited podcast hosting, website hosting, and there's a bunch of other tools as well that I provide for them.
Now, besides uploading to their own websites, do they also do like YouTube, for example?
Yeah. Some of our shows do YouTube, and some just do audio. A lot of them like just do Facebook sometimes as well. But all depends on where they think their fans are.
Now, if someone wants to check out this network, how do they get in touch?
Well, you can head on over to thedorkening.com, and I'll go out. This is a longer URL for like keywords and stuff, but just go to thedorkening.com. And we also have a comic book club as well, which is our splash pages. So I do about 5 podcasts a week myself. So I'm recording Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So Splash Pages is our comic book club that we started, and with that we have 3 other podcasts. So we have the Splash Pages podcast, and we also have the Facebook group, and we also have the Dork Night, which is a Batman-focused podcast, and also Comics Paradox, which is Elseworlds, so dealing with like what ifs and Elseworlds on the DC side. Yeah,
that's interesting because my buddy Calvin, who's here, has been looking for back issues of Elseworlds comics all week.
Oh, nice. We just read, I don't know if it's labeled as an Elseworlds, but we just read Speeding Bullets. Oh my God, that's amazing. It's what if Kal-El, Superman, landed in Gotham. The Waynes raised him, and they died, and he becomes Batman. His bat symbol is sort of like a mix between the Superman symbol and the Batman symbol, but it's just his journey of like starting off as Batman, brooding and everything, and then like returning back to hope. It's just an amazing story.
Now, one last question while I'm thinking of it. How long does each podcast last on the average?
Well, all depends. A lot of our shows, especially if it's like an interview, we'll try to keep to like an hour. But there are some that will go like 2, 3, 4 hours. It all depends on the subject matter, and sometimes we'll break up shows as well.
Okay, wonderful. So check out the Dork Night. Leo, thank you very much.
Hey, thank you, Marc.
All right, let's see what else is going on at Terrificon.
Terrificon 2022, and we are here with Kyle from First Impression Comic Pressing. Now, comic pressing is basically a technique that you can use to maybe take care of a couple of defects or so, and a comic book if there's something that you have that might be worth some money if you're looking to get it graded. But Kyle can talk a little bit more about that. Kyle, how you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. How's Terrificon going for you guys?
Good. Great show. Love being out east.
All right, so where you guys based out of first off, and then talk a little bit about what you guys do and why is it important to have a comic pressed?
Sure. We're based out of Chicago, and what we do is we try to make the books as look as good as they're going to get. And so you want to do that for preservation of your collection, and put them back away so that they're not still degrading in the actual cases, or you want to get them graded, and you want to get the highest grade available. So, and there's 2 reasons for that. You get a lot of private collectors that just literally get them back from grading, put them back away, and then they save them for their kids or for their own selves. Or in today's market, you have a lot of people flipping books, trying to monetize them. So we basically try to get all the books with defects in them out, and so you get a higher grade. We also offer signatures on the books, so we're facilitating at the show here for CGC. So we can actually do it for either company, just one at a time. So we once we actually get the books either signed or just bring them in for pressing, once they're ready to go, we can actually send them to either company for grading.
All right, so what kind of defects are you talking about that you could maybe like get out? So pressing, so literally you're putting it in a press?
Yes. So the major defects that we get out are either little finger bends or wrinkles in older books, spine rolls, or even some of the waves that you see in some of the brand new books that come out because the covers are so vibrant with a lot of ink. You'll get a little bit of wave, and it kind of looks like humidity damage, and it does affect the grading on some of the books. So those are the main things that we do. We also do dry cleaning. We don't use any chemicals or humidification in our process, and basically dry cleaning is essentially removing different types of debris and dirt off the books using different types of erasers. And so, knowing which type of eraser to use for what kind of debris or transfer of ink off the books basically brightens them, also gives them an opportunity to have a higher grade.
How long does the process usually take to do like a particular, like a regular type of book?
So modern books are pretty fast. So we can actually, our facility right now is doing 36 books an hour, and we can actually do moderns at one pass. The actual charge for our pressing is $15 for older books, $12 for newer, and that covers up to 3 times on the press. So say you have an older book and they have the subscription crease in them, from being stuffed in an envelope back in the 60s and 70s. Sometimes it breaks color, sometimes it doesn't, but it always leaves a little hump in the middle. That one will take up to 3 times, on the press to actually get it to lay flat. Some of the other defects on older books takes that long. And what we found too is that the polybag crease on newer books takes a couple times to actually come out as well. So you'll see that on, the ever popular Ultimate Fallout 4 or the Miles Morales Spider-Mans. Those all have a little while to come out as well.
And I assume the process will also work on like some of the higher grade, like, prestige like type books with the heavier stock?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even the card stock, if it's not creased where it has a color break, they can be corrected. And I've noticed that some of the books, Aftershock, and some of the newer companies actually are putting out a great book, but being shipped by the various distribution companies now, or even handled on the actual retail shelves, they sometimes incur little bends in the corners or on the top, and that definitely can be taken out.
Okay, so you do stuff here at the show, so people can drop off, but I assume they can also send them to you. You have a website that our viewers can go for like more information?
Absolutely. So it's firstimpressionpressing.com. We have everything there. It'll have all the listings of the shows that we're doing at the time, all the information for the different types of pressing, the different turnaround times that we have, as well as we do sports cards and trading cards as well. So we can actually correct small bends, some of the actual defects along the edging on those, and that's becoming more and more popular, as the market is starting to increase in value with a lot of that stuff. So we're currently not dealers with PSA or Beckett, but we do send stuff in all the time to either company. So we're basically a one-stop shop for your paper collectibles, where we can get them nice and flat, get the defects out, and we can get them onto grading. And just recently, I've been doing a lot of movie posters and lobby cards. So if it's collectible, it's paper, we can get it fixed up for you.
Yeah, so it's basically, like you were saying, it's twofold. If you want to have it for your pressing collection, you can get the best that you can possibly get it to look. And if you are looking to monetize it or whatever, as you well know, just a difference in like a point or two could make a big difference when it comes to actually selling it.
Yep, and sometimes even if it's say it's a 4.5, or I'm sorry, 4.5. So it's a 4.5 to 4.0 book, and it comes back 4.5, 4.0, but it looks nice and clean. but the color breaks or the defects, or say a rip, it keeps it there. I have found that all my clients that are resellers, they sell them so much faster because it looks so much better. It's not all wrinkled. It's not, and it's able to move, on in the marketplace a little bit easier.
All right, Kyle, thank you for taking a few minutes for us at Sci-Fi Journal. Enjoy the rest of the con.
Thank you very much. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
I am with Don. Hi, Don.
How you doing?
Now, give us the name of your shop.
See What I Saw is the name of my shop.
Okay, and you do a lot of scroll work.
Yes, I do. This is all art that's off a scroll saw.
Okay, nice. And how did you get started doing this?
Actually, my grandfather showed me how to use a scroll saw when I was very young, and I just incorporated it from there and grew up with it.
Okay.
And everything. And it went from silhouettes up to puzzles up to now more intricate scroll saw work, which we call fret work.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing this, the fret work and puzzles for about the last 20 years plus. So.
Nice. Now, I noticed your Star Wars shirt,
Yes.
and is that one of your more influences, or do you have a favorite character or a style that you like to do?
I've always been into Star Wars.
Okay.
But I understand there's all different ones, so I try to keep it available for more people.
Okay, cool. Now, if people want to get in touch with you, they've seen all this great artwork, and they might want to buy something, how do they get in touch?
I have a Facebook page, chow.scroll.saw.
Okay, and that's the best way to get in touch with you.
That is correct.
Awesome. Yeah, some awesome work here. Nice job.
Thank you.
Okay, Don, thank you very much. Let's see what else is going on at Terrificon.
All right.
Nice. Terrificon, you always find these really cool booths and vendors, and the one I found, one of them is it's getting dicey.
It is.
Oh my goodness.
It's getting dicey.
All right, so I'm talking to
Cass?
and
Herman.
nice to meet you guys. All right, tell us a little bit about your company. What is it that you sell, and how'd you get started?
We literally just sell dice and dice-related accessories. Part of the reason being is because I bought an $80 dice set online, and when we got it in, it was garbage. So we encourage people to come and test out the dice, roll them. We are firm believers that they pick you as much as you pick them. We have dice sets starting at $5, going all the way up to $120 to fit any budget. First and foremost, we're players and a DM. He's been DMing for over 30 years. We're very passionate, and we love other people that love what we do as much as we do. So
Now, what kind of games are you DMing?
Mostly Dungeons and Dragons, but Cyberpunk, a variety of other tabletop role-playing games like Call of Cthulhu, so a variety of things. And our dice, we have so many that are for so many different games. Yeah.
See, we're part of the Rhode Island Science Fiction Club. We're like an offshoot of them. And for years, we hosted gaming nights with Shadowrun and the West End Star Wars and those kind of games too. And Star Trek, we did Star Trek for a little while. We did a little bit of D&D as well. So tell us about some of the materials that these things are made out of.
So we have solid metals that start at $40. We have hollow metals that are $60, and some of them actually jingle. We have actual gemstone dice. Those are anywhere between $100 and $120. Those are real labradorite. We have liquid core dice that actually are resin cast, but they actually have liquid in the center of them, so they come alive when you roll them. We have plastic dice. We have inclusion dice. That is my husband's machination. It's actually a scroll with the entire spell for 5th edition on it, plus the necessary dice in order to be able to cast the spell.
Oh, that's cool.
We even have starter kits that come with a bag, a tray, a pencil, character sheet, and a one-shot dungeon for the new person that wants to start playing.
Now, if you've never been involved in any type of gaming that involves dice, tell these folks why you should start in the first place.
It's epic. It really is. So Dungeons and Dragons or any of the tabletop role-playing games, it's literally the sky's the limit. It's whatever you can do with your imagination. There's no set rules. Even the player's handbook, at the beginning of it, most of them say these are guidelines. They're not rules. So you can literally do whatever the heck you want in it. I mean, I have an arcane trickster rogue that has PTSD by looking through keyholes because she kept rolling a 1. So it's crazy. It's fun. It's something you can do. Kids, it's great for kids for the simple fact that it's an adventure they can go on, but they're safe in one location with their friends. So.
And depending upon the imagination of the person who's hosting this thing too, it gets pretty creative. I mean, we had one time we were playing Star Wars, and we had a friend who wanted to throw a hand grenade in the middle of a hurricane, and we kept telling him that it's going to blow back in your face. So roll for it anyways. Guess what? He didn't live very long.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw the new Dungeons and Dragons movie trailer.
I've heard of it, yeah.
But like that, if you watch the trailer, that's a very small portion of what you can do, and that trailer looks amazing. So, I mean, a human turns into a giant owlbear. Like, come on, like, where do you get that anywhere else? You don't really see that in video games. It's like, it's programming. I love video games, don't get me wrong, but it's programmed, which means there's set things that you can do. You don't have that with tabletop gaming.
It's an epic shared world experience.
Yeah.
Everything you do in the game is all about being with your friends and riffing on each other, doing more and more crazy things in a very safe, fun, friendly environment.
Because you have to use your imagination. That's right. Okay, now, if people want to get in touch with you, your company, what's the best way to get in touch?
It's gettingdicey.com.
As well as Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
It's getting dicey.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good luck. Maybe we'll see you again around Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
We're
We'll be
excited.
there.
We're
Okay, we'll touch base. Let's see what else is going on at Terrificon. Okay, let's wrap up Terrificon 2022. What did you think, Calvin? Did you have a great time?
I had a great time. Terrificon is one of the best conventions, if not the best convention in all of New England for this type of stuff. Mitch Halleck puts on an awesome show, had awesome guests, awesome comics, awesome writers, awesome everything.
Sure.
No, this is really great. Seriously, if you ever looking to want to go to a comic convention, you've been worried about trying one, this is a really good one to start at.
Yes, and the word is awesome. If you are really into comics, this is the convention you want to go to. You found a few treasures today.
Yeah, I found some of the Elseworld stuff I was looking for, which I am very happy with. And it was really fun to be able to go ahead and look without being packed in like sardines.
Yes, it was really good. And we got some really great interviews that we'll be showing on Sci-Fi Journal. Oh, before I forget, today is July 31st, 2022. And on this day in infamy, George Jetson was born.
Oh man, really?
Yeah, George Jetson. If you go to IMDb or someplace and you look at the biography for George Jetson, you'll see his birth date is July 31st, 2022. That's today.
Wow.
I know. I can tell you're impressed.
I am totally impressed. Look at the big brain.
Yes. Okay. All right. So that's going to be it for Terrificon 2022. I had fun. I always have fun hanging out with you, Calvin. It was a great time. It was good.
Likewise.
Yep. So let's go back to the studio for the rest of the show.